Good morning, Reds. Oh my goodness. We had a 4:30 start here in Las Vegas on the West Coast of America. I know some of you actually got a reasonable start for the first time, but welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about preseason, man. I'm impressed. I was impressed with the Academy boys, actually. Mainly Trey Yoni, mainly Rio Ngumuha, and mainly Lucas Stevens in that first half. They looked really good, and they looked like they've matured a lot since the last time we saw them against Plymouth, and even since the last time that we saw them against Preston. So it's very interesting, and I'm wondering what's going to happen with Rio Ngumuha, what's going to happen with Trey and Yoni, because it looks like they have futures at this club. It doesn't look like they're going to be going out on loan, and it looks like they probably are going to be getting some reps in this side, mainly Rio. And with the rumor circling around about Luis Diaz, who I think still has a part to play in this side, to be very, very clear. But if he wants to go, which is a lot of the reports are kind of insinuating, he can go. Because I think Rio Namu is the future. A lot of people are comparing him to Lamine Yamal and the way that he's bloomed so early as a player. And I think that goes down to the hard work and the tenacity and the effort that he's kind of put into trying to improve his game, because it has improved. I mean, the way that he came at Tamori, who is an England international, who's played at the top levels of football so aggressively and so arrogantly, almost, as I would like to call it with Rio. I love it. I love how direct he is. I love how fearless he is. And he led a large part of that first half. Him and the other person that you got to bring up, Florian Wirtz. And it's Florian Wirtz, by the way. He's corrected us. Florian Wirtz is effortlessly brilliant, is what I called him in the Discord. He is a treat to watch. We haven't had a player that's been able to play like this in between lines and link up play and involve other players since Coutinho, really. And I don't even think Coutinho was able to kind of do it on this level and at this type of fluidity that Florian has been able to do it. And I don't think we've had a player that's been this fun to watch since Thiago. I mean, the way that he moves on the ball, it's almost like he's just sauntering across the pitch and just gliding. And when he gets into that, Reese made this comment in the Discord. When he doesn't look like he's moving fast, but when he gets into his stride, it's almost like he's gliding across the pitch, similar to how Ryan can, right? In moments. But anytime Florian decides to step on the gas, he just glides past defenders, glides past them, effortless, one touch, two touch, just enough weight on the pass for his teammate to control it. Oh, man. I can't wait. And Mo Salah has to get used to playing with a player that's going to give him passes from angles he's never gotten before. There was a couple moments there where I was like, Mo, you got to finish that, buddy. Don't put that back. Don't play that back. Somebody said in the Discord, Mo, you're not trying to chase the assist record. Bury that. And there was a couple moments there where I'm like, defenders are going to have a lot of trouble handling Florian Wirtz, Mohamed Salah, Hugo Ekitike, and potentially Alexander Isak, which we'll talk about in a second here. But I think the third player from the first half that impressed me even more, or to the same amount as Rio and Wirtz, is Dominik Szoboszlai. He is a number 8. He is a number 8. I don't think he's a 10. He can play a 10 and can be effective as a 10, obviously, with the fantastic season that he's coming off of. But the way that he is able to do pretty much anything you can ask him to do on the pitch. He played right back last time. He played as a 10 against Preston. And today he played as a box-to-box 8. And on all 3 of those matches, he was influential and he played very well. And today shows how well he can strike a ball from distance, given space and time. I saw a video where Steven Gerrard asked, "Who's the Liverpool player that's most like you right now?" And without hesitation, he said Dominik Szoboszlai. He's not going to give up his spot that easily, and I think he's going to have a fight for every position on that field. Essentially, right wing, left wing. He can play as a DM. We've seen he can play as an 8. He can play as a 10, and he can even play as a false 9. So I loved what I saw from Dominik Szoboszlai, and the fact that we have that many options in midfield, on top of Wirtz, on top of Ryan Gravenberch, on top of Maka, who we even haven't even seen just yet. This is massive, massive blessing. Speaking of Ryan, he's another player that can literally play anywhere. He played at center back today and played really well there, which is insane. Even got some minutes in the midfield and hit a beautiful strike from distance that deserved to go into the back of the net to just score this season because he didn't get to score last season. So hopefully he can get his goal in. But that begs the question, does Ryan need help there? He played a full 90 minutes in preseason where some people only played 30 minutes, right? Um, do we need another reliable defensive midfielder in there? Because I don't know if Morton does end up staying. Does he go to West Ham to try to get more time and minutes? I mean, he's 22 years old now. He's in that part of his career where he would want to probably play more consistently. Wataru Endo is a little bit older, right? And he was looking a little sick, actually. And I think that's why he didn't play today. Do you go out and get another defender because Stefan Bajcetic can't stay, a defensive midfielder because Stefan Bajcetic can't stay healthy? A lot of questions, right? And I agree with some of the reports coming out that even if the Isak deal is done, I think Liverpool do have some more shopping that they need to do. I think we need another center back. I think we need another DM, but we'll talk about that a little bit towards the end of this video of what's next, what looks forward to the future. But let's keep talking about this first half. It felt really refreshing to know that there was assurance in there in that midfield, even with Trey and Yoni in there, even with Rio in there, and then Wirtz in there. And in moments with Elliott, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well, but the insurance that the ball can continue to move, we can play in tight spaces, and some of those passing sequence were just downright fluid. They were beautiful to watch. It was slot ball at its finest. And as for the goals conceded, I think that's more goes down to the tinkering of the team. Don't look too into this, guys. There's going to be a rival fans that are going to try to blow your head up and think that, oh, you guys spent over, $250,000 or quarter billion dollars, and you guys are conceding four. It's down to Slot was trying things, putting Simicast at center back, putting Ryan at center back. You know, at times, I mean, we played three left backs today, swapping players out, putting players in really weird, kooky positions, changing shapes and formations, trying things, seeing what's working, what's not working. And if there's any time to do that, it's right now. So don't freak out about that. A lot of those goals, they could be prevented with the right players in the right position, playing in proper shapes that are not experimental. So calm down is what I want you guys to do. And while you're calming down, I want you to go down into the comments and tell me who your man of the match was for the first half. And then tell us where you're watching from. And if you're new here, thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. So let's talk about that second half. There wasn't a lot to get excited about. The one thing that did excite me was Jeremy Frimpong. He's so unique in how he plays, how he approaches. But I mean, we haven't seen a right-footed right winger in a long time. There's so many, inverted wingers is very, very prevalent in the modern day. And the fact that we have a right-footed right winger that can get past players. I mean, Estupinian is not slow. Let's be very clear here. We know Estupinian. He's a Brighton player, and he's actually one of the faster players in the league. Frimpong was blowing past that guy like he wasn't there. And it sucks because he was passing these beautiful crosses into the box and getting into dangerous positions, but no one was there to bury those chances because Ben Doak is not 6'2", not 6'2" forward, right? He's more so actually a player that would thrive in the position that Frimpong was playing in. But the combination play between him and Connor Bradley, that's something that's very interesting to me. Connor didn't have a great game today, but it's tough. Rafael is a tough assignment. And that's another one. It's just like, is anybody checking on Rafael Leao? Like, what's going on with Leao? He was a beast today. He was very good. Credit to AC Milan. Their counter-attacking play was very, very good today. And the defense that they held up, the low block, it was quintessential Italian tactics. And, Allegri's back in charge. AC Milan's going to get back to their roots. And it looks like Leao may thrive in that system. But I'm interested to see if anybody goes and picks him up. But besides that, Frimpong looked really good, looked really dangerous, and is electric on that right-hand side. And I think I've been seeing this idea floated around a little bit. I think he was actually maybe brought in as a Mo Salah deputy more so than a starting right back. And it's so interesting because he can cover a lot of those positions, which makes the value of him being coming into the club even more, right? The pickup is even more valuable because he can be a starting right back, and then he also can be a starting right wing and be effective in both of those situations and scenarios. So I absolutely love that signing. He was the bright spot. He was the shining star in that second half. Unfortunately, some of the bad is what we have to kind of talk about in this video, and some of the things that I'm sure Arne Slot is going to address this season. You know me, I got to keep it real. I got to keep it real on the channel. Some of the bad stuff. Harvey Elliott looks lost on the side. Harvey Elliott does not look comfortable in the side, in this style of play, in this pace, the technicality, all of that stuff, the intricacy, and it doesn't make sense to me because I've heard about his footballing brain. Some of his teammates have said he's one of the smartest players and one of the more technically gifted players that they've played with, and I've seen him perform with England and look 6 foot. I said this in the Discord. I could have swore Harvey Elliott was 6'2" and athletic for England over the summer. He looked like he couldn't get his legs underneath him. He was treading water almost, running as hard as he could and going nowhere. And a lot of misplaced pass. And you would think in a system that relies more so on technique than anything, Harvey would thrive in. But there's another fold to that is that slot system also relies on athleticism and doggedness and relentlessness. Players almost in the mold of a Dominik Szoboszlai and a Florian Wirtz, right? Where they are supremely talented on the ball and supremely technical on the ball and can play 1-2s and can ding, cross field passes, but they also can get back and press, and they're fast and they're athletic and they have boundless energy. And I don't know if that's Harvey Elliott. I really don't know. And it's unfortunate because I think he is a very talented player, and in the right system, he could go cosmic. I think he could be a very, very good player, similar to a Phil Foden. And I've made this comparison before. I think Phil Foden is a system player, and I think Harvey is a system player too. In the right system, they can be some of the best players in the world. In the wrong system, they can look very pedestrian. Or if the system isn't kind of centered around them, which we've kind of seen with Foden and his form kind of fall off in recent years. So it's interesting. Tsimikas is another one. Tsimikas may end up being the odd man out in this entire thing. With two senior left backs starting ahead of him, it looks like he was tried at center back today, which obviously is not his natural position. I mean, just standing next to Konate, he just looks slight and it looks out of place. And the back pass to Mamardashvili wasn't great. And honestly, a lot of those goals were not Gigi's fault or Gio's fault. So don't get too. I know I saw a comment online like, "Oh, Gio eating 3 goals is not good." I don't think that's Gio's fault. It's counterattacking. What can you do? There was like 1 and 2 guys back in a lot of those goals conceded, and then the last one, it was a mistake by Tsimikas. So it's interesting, and I wonder where Tsimikas kind of goes with all of this. And then that leads me to the absences, right? Nunez and Diaz. We don't know where they were today. No explanation. Maybe Slot will clarify on that. But I'm hearing that talks between Diaz and Bayern Munich are becoming very advanced, and he may be on his way out. I heard there's also talks with Nunez and Al Hilal. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. That could be an extra 160, 170 million that could go back into the transfer kitty. And I hear there is a forward in Newcastle that could be around that price. So do you trade Nunez and Diaz in attacking depth for Isak, who is your quintessential number one signing of this season or number one target of this season? I don't know, especially after today with we didn't play with the forward, we didn't play with strikers, right? So it's very, very interesting what may end up coming and what may end up happening with this Liverpool team and how it shapes and where it goes. But we can't make a full judgment yet because Hugo Ekitike isn't in the side yet, of course. Maka isn't there yet, of course. And we still have transfer business to be done this season, but a lot of bright spots. And I'm very, very optimistic and I'm looking forward to this season. Don't get me wrong at all. There are some glaring mistakes, right? Playing that far up the pitch will hurt you every single time. I think Pep Linders has learned that big time with his short stint at Salzburg. And I think that's more of just like playing with formations, seeing what it would look like against a low block team that Slot's doing. I don't think that's something that's going to stay because, I mean, Simicas and Ibu were almost in the final third in some of those sequences. So the pressure that they put in that final third with having almost everyone there, you can tell that Slot's trying to drill scenarios of what it would look like breaking down some of these very defense heavy teams like AC Milan was today. You can't play that game though, like I said, with good teams. But with some of these teams in the Premier League who aren't even going to go out and try to score, or maybe they're trying to steal one in the last few minutes, I think maybe this setup does work. And when you have the master key that can unlock any door in Florian Wirtz, you try that. You try that. You definitely do. And he'll probably be our most effective signing of the summer. He is the linchpin to slot ball. We haven't had a player that can play in tight places like this and spaces like this, in between the lines like this, and keep the ball going under pressure. We've had players that can keep the ball under the pressure, but can you move the ball under pressure? And I think that's a very, very valuable skill that Florian Wirtz has. I'm excited for Rio Ngumuha. I'm excited for Florian Wirtz. Trae Yoni impressed me today. Frimpong is very, very promising. Ryan Gravenberch is Ryan Gravenberch. And Sabo ain't giving up his spot that damn easy, baby. I love it. I'm very, very interested in seeing where things go, what the rest of this preseason looks like. I will continue to be getting up at 4:30 a.m. to catch these games in Asia. Hopefully, you guys can join me. So while you guys are here, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. I appreciate all of you. Up the Reds, baby. Florian Wirtz is a Liverpool FC player. That's mad to say. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Peace. Boom.